Hey there everyone, it's Dave here from AutoBears and welcome to this off-road review of the Mercedes X-Class. Now if you want to watch the full review and see what I think of that big pickup truck, of course click up in the top right hand corner. But as I've mentioned, for 2020, any cars now that have a little bit of off-road potential, I will do a separate review and see what it's like off-road. So I'm here at the Green Lane in Milton Keynes and it is the middle of summer, so I'm not expecting to get this X-Class particularly dirty, but it will be interesting to see how it deals with all the ruts and undulations that have been kind of exposed with the dry weather. So I'm keen to see what it's like. But as usual, please hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notifications icon if you want to see what other videos I come up with. But without further ado, I think it's time we take this X-Class off-road. So before we go, a little bit of information. Underneath the X-Class, it is based on the Nissan Navara, and well, Mercedes have worked their magic on this truck, so be very keen to see what it's like off-road. It still retains a lot of the off-road capabilities, so we have got a high range and low range gearbox. We've also got a diff lock as well. Ride height is around 201 millimeters, and I have got standard road tyres as well. Right, so now that pickup has made his way off and they're off home, it's time for us to go up the hill and see what it's like. So I'm just going to put it into drive. I am going to put it into high range just to kind of make sure the 4x4 system is in effect. Don't think we need the low range gearbox or hill descent control, but we'll see on the way back. So away we go. Now if you're unaware, the engine I have got is the top of the range engine. It is a 3-litre turbocharged V6 diesel producing about 255 brake horsepower, but more importantly 550 newton meters of torque, so there is a lot of grunt under the bonnet. And first impressions are very good. Dealing with the lean nicely. One of the things I do love on this X-Class compared to other pickup trucks I have driven is that usually rear suspension is very stiff, particularly if you go over a sleeping policeman, but on this it's actually coil springs, not leaf springs like on the Navara, and as a result this is very comfortable when driving on the road. But driving it here, I'm at a bit of an angle actually, and it's coping very well. At the bottom of the screen you can see what tyres I've got on this particular X-Class. Of course you can fit some more dedicated or bespoke tyres, maybe some Scorpion all-terrains if you really want to take your X-Class off-road quite often. Right. Ooh, that's a little root that's exposed, so a little bit of a bump, but still very comfortable. I do love this engine. Now we have got an approach angle of 28.8 degrees. We have got a breakover angle of 20.4 degrees and a departure angle of 23.8 degrees, so it's not the class best, but it's decent enough to do some novice to, I'd say, intermediate off-roading. Of course, if you wanted to look at raising the suspension, I believe that is actually an optional extra you can have on the X-Class, but even in its standard setup, it's doing very well here. This is usually the little spot where there's a big puddle, and unfortunately it's dried up. But what I like as well is I can press the 360 camera and I can see the front and I can see the ground. That's a nice feature. The only thing from that camera is it doesn't show all the kind of bumps and undulations. It doesn't show the terrain. It just shows the ground, so you can't really judge what is happening. So I don't recommend doing this blindfolded, or at least having a screen across the windscreen and just going solely by the camera. That is an optional extra, by the way. And if you do check the description of the full review of the X-Class, I've got all of the options listed in the description there. But this is dealing very well. It's so comfortable, this X-Class, particularly at the back. The seats as well are incredibly comfortable, full leather seats, again an optional extra. This is very clearly a Mercedes or a German car doing its thing. But yeah, that has been the off-road review. It's a very capable pickup truck. Of course it was going to be. Mercedes were not going to let this be kind of a one-trick pony. It has to do everything. I do love the engine. As I mentioned, this V6 diesel is an absolute hoot. Only problem is it will cost you at the bank and at the pump, but in terms of performance, it's brilliant. I do think this is very capable off-road. It's just a shame, as I mentioned in the full review, that this is a over £50,000 pickup truck. So it's, if you're after capability, you can easily get something that can go off-road for less. So that, everyone, is my off-road review of the Mercedes X-Class pickup truck. Please don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notifications icon to let you know when I, Dave the Auto Bear, bring out another video. Yeah, I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you know the usual bump by now, so I always recommend you follow on there as well. But guys, I'm now going to go back down the lane. Have yourselves a wonderful day, stay safe, maintain your social distancing, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Take care and bye bye.